Hello everybody, welcome back to Learning Biology. Finally, we've reached this last part of our section. That is the last part, part 6 of 15.2. Okay, and this part we're focusing on the eye defect. This is also a quite common part tested in exam. Okay, so please focus. Okay, so as long as you make sure that your concept is correct, then very well, this part is not that difficult. Okay, so short sight, long sight, we've heard about that a lot in our daily life. Okay, 咁就會成日都聽到啦，近視、遠視啦。Alright, of course, there is the third one we're going to discuss briefly, and that is about the color blindness. 一個色盲啦。Alright, but first of all, let's focus on the short sight and long sight first. By definition, always remember the definition clearly. Okay, so short sight, you can see near objects clearly. Long sight, you can see distant objects clearly. Okay, so do not mix them up. If you mix them up, no matter how well you recite, you understand the concept, you would get everything like oppositely. 你會完全寫晒相反嘅嘢啦。Alright? Okay, so let's get started. First one, talk about the short sight, 近視啦. So somehow, what does it mean? So we can see near object, that's the first definition. But then the second definition is that the images are formed in front of the retina. So do not focus on the distant object this word. Okay, it's just messing you up. Alright? So somehow the other definition is that the images are formed in front of your retina. So somehow you can think that it is formed in front of your retina. So there are two reasons. One of them, refracted too much. 過度折射. Alright, refracted too much. Why is it refracted too much? Because your lens are too thick. The refraction is too great. Okay, you refracted too much. The other one, so normal refraction, as you can see, the lens here is very normal. But then your eyeball is too long. Okay, so even under normal refraction, 正常嘅折射啦, it still cannot reach your retina. 仍然都去唔到你嘅 retina. Your eyeball is too long. Okay, so always remember like this. The result, the final destination, 最後個位置, it is always formed in front of the retina. Okay? So this time, I would like you to pay more attention to how do we draw these diagrams. Okay? As I said in previous video, this drawing may be tested. Okay? So how do we fix them? What is the correction? 點樣去改咗佢呢? So the correction is by wearing concave lenses. Okay, I'm sure that when you watch videos, we somehow should have taught you, I should have somehow taught you the meaning of concave and convex. Alright? So what does it mean by concave? 因為你會識一隻字, cave is like 洞穴. Alright? So cave should be something like this. This is a cave. Okay? So by concave, by means two, right? So by concave lenses, 咁就你見到兩邊都係凹入去嘅. Okay? So we can use this concave lenses. How do we use this concave lenses? Because it helps you diverge light first. 幫你分散佢哋，係令佢向住兩邊走咗先嘅。Okay, so it helps you diverge the light rays first. So it may not be very obvious, but it's going upwards like this. Okay? 好啦, so how do I remember this? It's so difficult. Very easy. Just look at this lens on here. Where is it thicker? 邊度係厚少少嘅? Of course, this area and this area, right? So when it is thicker, it will go this way. Okay? That's all for now. Okay, just remember this. When it is thicker, it will go to the go upper or go lower. It will be diverging the light. Okay， 好啦，咁 since 你幫咗佢 ，you help the image to be diverged at first， 你令到佢 diverge 咗先啦。所以啦 ，no matter if the lens is too thick, no matter if your eyeball is too long, now it can go back. The destination will always be on your retina. Okay, so the image can always be focused on the retina. And then another situation. I'll not talk about the drawing yet. Okay, I'll talk about this in class. So when we talk about long sight, first of all, that means you can see distant objects clearly. Or the other definition is that the images are formed behind the retina. 係喺佢後邊嘅。Alright, so there are two reasons. One of them is not enough reflection. 唔足夠嘅折射. That means your lens is too thin. Or your eyeball is too short. So the image is formed behind the retina. How do we correct it? 當然啦, of course, we're using the opposite. This time it's not the concave, it's the convex. 咩叫 convex 啊? Again, convex. That means 係 concave 嘅相反啦，咁就 not a cave anymore. But this time, it should be something like this. Okay, so just like biconvex. But which area is thicker? Again, this time. Here, right? So these two are thinner. 係相對地薄啲嘅. Therefore, it is not diverging. We say that this is converging. Okay, so this time it helps you convert light rays before you reach the eye. Okay, so as you can see here, it is converging, not the diverging. Okay, and eventually the images can be focused onto the retina. So these two are the details about the short sight and long sight. Okay. So these two areas, these two green boxes, I will talk about them in class. I would like to go to page 27 and talk about the last eye defect. This one is the color blindness. Okay, very easy to understand. So that means you're blind to some colors. Okay, or all colors. So somehow they cannot distinguish 唔能夠分辨嘅 some or all colors. Alright, so one of the very common type is called the red-green color blindness. We'll talk about this disease later in chapter 26. Okay, so there is another type of color blindness that is called the total color blindness, and it is rare. 相對地罕見少少啦. Okay, so there is a cause. Okay, and this cause is usually because your deficiency 或者啦 defect. Deficiency 代表唔足夠 insufficient. Alright, or defect 即係代表係唔健康或者係有一啲嘅損害咗嘅。Alright, so something wrong about them. Okay, of your cone cells. Okay, of course, when we talk about the deficiency or defect, it can be happening to one or more of the three types of cone cells. 得唔得? Okay, so of course, for the red-green color blindness, it's because you have problem with your red and green cone cells only, but not the blue cone cells. Okay, but then for the total color blindness, of course, this one. Okay, you have deficiency or defect for your three types of cone cells. That's all. However, for correction, this one is inherited, 係一個遺傳嘅 inherited defects 睇到啦 inherited defects, so it cannot be cured or corrected. 唔能夠改變任何嘢啦. Alright, so it will be keep on passing on generation by generation. Okay, as I said, we'll focus on talking about using this as an example in chapter 26 when we talk about genetic passing on. Okay, how do we pass the genetics? Alright, so this is a very fun corner. So let's see if you have any color blindness to tell me the number of these three images. Okay, so this extended learning, you can have a look about this first. Usually it is not tested, all right? But some of them are the disease which you have heard about, just like for example, the cataracts 就係白內障啦，OK 成日都會聽得到噶啦。And yeah, cataracts is one of the most common one among these four. Okay, so you can have a look about this first, and that's all for this final part of chapter 15.2. Okay, so please help me finish these questions, and I'll check them with you in class. Okay, so in the following, we're going to focus no more on the eye, but more on the human ear. Okay, so their rationale or their principle, 佢哋嘅原則啦，佢哋嗰個定律咧 is very much similar. Okay, so that's all for this video, and I'll see you in the next talking about the human ear. Okay, bye bye.